AMC here. Let's make a video. We've got Country Rimfire Plus was going on a rant about how dirty this stuff is. 22 long rifle ammo, particularly in some of these Rugers. They get all nasty and gruddy and gross inside, and I don't know. I live on a dirt road. I don't get too fussy about a bunch of grime and lead powder and crap sitting inside of the chamber, as long as the rifle still functions. But I was wondering, especially about the suppressors. These things kind of are a pain to clean. I mean, yeah, that's running a rimfire, and they're going to get grungy. So for this next video, I decided let's pick up 500 rounds of Remington Thunderbolts. These things are lead. It's just round nose. We are going to be moving at about 1255 feet per second for the velocity. So generally, this ought to make a mess. Let's get this open up. We got to do the pausey thing because the use of tubes don't like showing anybody anything that is possibly productive or constructive or, I don't know, mechanically sensitive. But we'll open that up, show you what it looks like on the inside. I'm trying a little extra additive here, out of the box type of thinking. This is a silicone O-ring lubricant like you might use on your faucets, kitchen sink, hand sink, pool equipment, anything that requires the rubber of the seal to stay flexible and conditioned. We all know the conditions when we get water and silicone together, they don't mix. The water is going to beat up on the silicone. It pretty much sheds off. And so silicone, being a really fine molecular material and slippery and doesn't like interacting with water, I'm going to see what happens if I coat all of the surfaces of my suppressor or gun muffler with a thin layer of silicone first. And then I'm going to run at least 500 rounds of ammo through this thing. And we'll finish off this video with the before and the after. So let's see what the insides look like now, clean. And now we can see the insides of the rugged Oculus. This sat in the ultrasonic cleaner. Got pretty much back to spotless clean, the way it would have come shipped from the factory. And then, of course, we have the baffles. The working end of these mufflers is the projectile will enter on this part. It's going to be inside of this cylinder. So that forces the excess gases to wrap around the outside of the cone with your projectile working down the center of the cone. These are staggered. So as these things stack together, yeah, it is slippery as all get up. Anyway, you get the idea. So these are all perfectly clean inside and out. All the baffles, and they are slippery. You can probably see the shininess on my fingers already. So, front baffle, back baffles. Again, clean these back up to spotless standards. These rugged Oculus have a little bit of an index in them so that they will snap together and stay together. Front cap on that. Got that clean inside. Anyways, I'll get that thing to focus. Yeah, about 5 minutes into this part of the video, we will pause it. You probably don't need to see me shooting 500 rounds. That is so monotonous. We'll run that through. I'll find various different tools to utilize that. And then we'll get back on the bench and show what the insides of this thing looks like with at least 500 rounds through it. I think I've got a couple of stray odds and ends, maybe the golden bucket of bullets. I think I've got maybe 50 or 100 of those left in one of those big tubs. So we'll burn up some of that filthy ammo. And again, this whole stuff has been a little bit of this silicone O-ring lubricant. This stuff is, see if you can see the consistency. So, I mean, it's kind of runny. It's almost like maybe maple syrup consistency. So it's not actually like silicone in a tube, like a caulk gun. It's more a fluid. Get that to dump back out. Anyway, so how I coated this was just threw on some latex or rubber gloves, coated my fingers with it. And again, this is for O-ring lube, so in your drinking water. So it's, it's not poison. It's not going to kill you. Although generally, if you're going to have silicone all over your fingers, then you're probably going to be smudging and smearing that on all of your rifles and everything else. So, yep, use the proper cleaning methods and precautions to keep your bench from getting stuff stuck all over it and nasty. But we'll get to testing and then get back here after we get this thing absolutely filthy, and we'll see what the cleanup looks like. Is the carbon that we know is going to load here, will that just wipe right off smooth and easy, or am I going to make this a bigger mess? And if this silicone O-ring lube works on the inside of a gun muffler that we know is going to be filthy, what happens when we actually put that on the inside of one of our tools? Science. Let's find out. All right, out here in the 50-yard, we have a clean sheet of cardstock. We're going to repurpose this 2024 BS challenge that I came up with a while ago, but we're just going to use that as a aim point for our 50 yards back there to rattle off 500 plus rounds for our suppressor cleanliness test. And what we'll be shooting, again, is our Thunderbolts. Got 500 rounds. I had those bucket of golden bullets. So I've got 60 rounds of those. We'll run those first using the Bear Creek Arsenal semi-auto platform. This actually is 16-inch barrel plus the suppressor on that. And again, you don't necessarily need to sit here and watch all of the shots. So we will commence to getting this muffler filthy to see what it looks like and how easy it is to clean up later. Thanks. Hey, MC back here. We have emptied this box of Remington Thunderbolts. So we started out with a clean target, stuck that up at 500 yards, put her on a little cardboard backer, and just ran bullets. A couple of tests, right? One, a lot of people claim these Bear Creek 22s are garbage and don't feed, don't run, don't cycle. Well, not really the case. I did have a few that failed to fire on a restrike. They went off, and I've also had quite a few that were subsonic out of this box. So when they hit, they didn't have that crack. I mean, granted, we got the little muffler on the end. That's kind of one of the points of the whole test, is how much crud is going to end up in one of these after you empty one of these. So yeah, let's throw her in the camera stand, open her up. Actually, maybe, yeah, we'll throw a little paper towel down here and see how much carbon and crap is in there. I did pull the bolt out halfway through. So what's today? Sunday, March 1st, I believe, 2026. So I run about half the bolts the other day, or half the bullets the other day. Did pop the bolt out of the chamber here, out of the action. And I did use a few drops of this Lucas gun oil. Nice little applicator on there, and a needle wand allows you to put that oil right where you want it. We'll get it here in a stand and open some stuff up. Yeah, I'll probably throw the paper towel down, spin that suppressor apart, because I don't think YouTube's going to like me opening that up on camera. But either way, we'll open up this action, see what's inside of this thing and how grubby it is. I already know we've got some grub and goo in there, but all right, so chamber is empty. I'm ready to take the charge handle off, but essentially we can stroke that bolt open. Nothing in the chamber, no magazine, no ammo on the bench, because we shot it all up. So our inside, and can I get, let's do tiny, maybe I can get up a little closer. Yeah, that looks nice and filthy in there. Same thing on this side. Bunch of garbage. And those cones look pretty bad. Granted, with that silicone in there, that's going to grab and hold the dirt pretty well too. Let's clunk this action. Oh, I can't because I took the charge handle off already. We'll just pull the bolt out. And that'll probably pop off camera because we're higher than the plane. This will slide up and out. Ooh, that is slimy too. A little excess oil on that apparently. So bolt face, got lots of grime on that. All right, yeah, something glitched with one of the videos, so we missed a little bit of information, so we'll recap. That silicone kind of trapped all that dirt and grime inside of here, but the outside does actually wash off and wipe off pretty good. So all of this stuff on that cone, still pretty thick paste with lead and powder residue, but as you can see, that does wipe pretty decent. On the inside, this is just a painter's brush. It's some chunky pasty stuff coming up. So, although it did, I think, help with our cleanup process, that silicone might actually work as a problem because it's not going to really wash off super easy. I think next up we'll try coating this with a little bit of dish soap. This one's starting to dry. You can kind of see that lead turning dark or dull. Again, that one's kind of grubby. But after 500 rounds of ammo, that's kind of what we expected them to do. Inside of here, yeah, it's hard to see this angle. So let me scrub this a little bit. Maybe I don't think I want to throw all that crap in the ultrasonic cleaner just yet, but I think generally just doing a wipe down with some towels, paper towels. Yeah, I think that's going to get the majority of the stuff off. So I think coating, yes, good idea. finding the right coating. Might take a little bit more trial and error. But silicone, O-ring lube, yep, that does work. But we might be able to find something better. You know, maybe some Palmolive or Dawn dish soap. But anybody that's tried cleaning these things after they've been dried and crusty knows what we're talking about. Inside front cap. A bunch of gunk in there again. So, now we know what 500 rounds after going through a suppressor looks like. Thanks for watching. Head over to Country Rimfire Plus or Rustic Rimfire channels. Check those guys out. They put something together. They do way more target shooting and challenge shooting than what I have the ambition or the time to do. So appreciate you guys watching. Leave a comment, thumbs up, like, and let me know if you've got a better cleaning method or coating method for your baffles that might help make life simpler for the rest of us. Thanks again. And the final results. Took about 5 minutes or so with just a wipe down with some dry paper towels. Got most of the grime and lead off. And of course, you want to make sure you wash your hands and fingernails and all that other fun stuff after getting lead all over your fingers. But yeah, 5 minutes of a little elbow grease. And then we hit the ultrasonic cleaner after getting most of the big chunks off. Just one 5-minute bath through that with hot water and a little bit of a purple cleaner. And these things came out nice. Threw them back in for about 5 minutes just with straight water, just to rinse. I'll let everything all dry, and then I think next up is going to be maybe some dish soap. As far as the inside of this chamber, yeah, so again, here's our Bear Creek. Oops, let's get the perspective right. There is the barrel throat and feed ramp. And of course you can see all of that nice carbon from 22 rimfire loaded up in there. So next up we'll be trying to figure out a method to keep this thing clean. But otherwise, yeah, I did not clean the receiver. Did not clean the barrel. I just pulled the bolt, put a little bit of lube on the top bearing surface, bolt the bolts, put a little spot of oil right here on this point, so it on the guide rod, and then a slight amount of oil here by our extractor spring. But otherwise, yeah, these are a blowback design. Oh, and we've got, yeah, a bunch of filth down here inside of the trigger group to clear out. What's the end of this muzzle look like? Can I get a good view of that? Not really. Anyways. So, yeah, 500 rounds. Makes a mess of your barrel, makes a mess of your rimfire, but I think we're working on a coating that will actually make your mess clean up a little bit easier. Thanks for watching.